Welcome to the iHistory channel. Picture this. It's November 1956. A typical American Thanksgiving has just wrapped up. Now let's set the scene. The Eisenhower era is in full swing. The American dream, that sweet promise of prosperity and happiness, is more alive than ever. Radios are blaring out Elvis Presley's latest hits while television sets flicker with the images of I Love Lucy. It's an age of optimism, of post-war recovery and economic boom. Thanksgiving, a celebration steeped in tradition and deeply rooted in American culture, has just concluded. Families across the country have gathered around their dining tables, relishing in a feast of turkey, stuffing, and cranberry sauce. The air is filled with laughter, shared stories, and the warmth of togetherness. The following day, known as Black Friday, has become synonymous with shopping and deals. It's a day when stores open early, offering sales that signal the start of the Christmas shopping season. Families would typically prepare to hit the shops, lists in hand, ready to bag the best bargains. Yet this year the atmosphere is different. There's a peculiar undercurrent of anticipation, a sense of something unusual brewing beneath the surface. Across the country, the streets are quiet, the stores shuttered in the early morning light. The calm before the storm, you might say. Yet the tranquility of this morning belies the chaos that is about to ensue. For in the heartland of America, an event is brewing that will go down in history, an event that will redefine Black Friday and give a whole new meaning to the phrase holiday shopping. An event that will cause pandemonium across the nation, as thousands of people chaotically and unexpectedly rush into stores. Little did anyone know the calm was about to be shattered by an unprecedented event. Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, dawned bright and clear. In the heart of the American 50s, the day after the turkey and pumpkin pie was a day marked by more than just leftovers. It was a day of sales, a day of shopping, a day of excitement. Black Friday, as we know it today, was still in its infancy in the year 1956, yet the essence of the day was already taking shape. Stores across the United States flung open their doors early in the morning, beckoning shoppers with the irresistible allure of discounts and deals. It was a day when the thrifty could be extravagant, and the extravagant could be thrifty. The air was filled with a palpable sense of anticipation. The shoppers, armed with carefully curated shopping lists, were ready for a day of bargain hunting. The streets were abuzz with chatter about the best deals, the biggest discounts, and the must-have items of the season. The air was cold, but the mood was warm, filled with the spirit of the upcoming holidays. Inside the stores, the atmosphere was no less electric. Shelves were stocked high with goods, waiting to be picked up by eager hands. Sales clerks were on their toes, ready to assist the swarm of customers who had traded their post-Thanksgiving leisure for a day of retail therapy. The cash registers chimed incessantly, ringing in the profits and the festive season. As the day wore on, the excitement never waned. The shoppers carried on, their spirits fueled by the thrill of the hunt for the best deals. The streets were bustling, the stores were buzzing, and the cash registers were singing. It was a day of commerce, of consumerism, of capitalism at its finest, yet for all its hustle and bustle, Black Friday in 1956 was still a day of order and civility. The shoppers, though enthusiastic, were respectful. The stores, though busy, were managed. The day, though hectic, was controlled. As dusk fell, shoppers returned home, unaware that the real chaos was yet to come. As the clock struck midnight, something extraordinary happened. The calmness of the night was suddenly shattered by a commotion not unlike a stampede. A wave of people, fueled by anticipation and fueled by the spirit of the holidays, burst into stores all across the United States. This was no ordinary shopping spree. It was a sudden, unexpected rush of people, a human tide that swept through the aisles, grabbing everything they could get their hands on. The noise was deafening, the chaos palpable. It seemed as if every person in America had decided to shop at the exact same moment. Store owners watched in disbelief as their establishments were overrun. What was expected to be a quiet night after Black Friday quickly turned into a scene straight out of a Hollywood movie. Cash registers rang incessantly, items flew off the shelves faster than they could be restocked, and queues snaked around corners, spilling out onto the streets. The pandemonium was not just confined to the stores. The streets outside were filled with cars, their horns blaring, all vying for the limited parking spaces. Pedestrians weaved their way through the traffic, bags in hand, their faces flushed with excitement and the cold winter air. Meanwhile, the police, caught off guard by the sudden surge, scrambled to control the situation. Their radios crackled with updates, their sirens wailed, adding to the cacophony. But for all the confusion, there was an undercurrent of exhilaration, a shared sense of being part of something larger than life. The shock of the store owners soon gave way to a dawning realization. This was not just an isolated incident, it was happening everywhere, in small towns and big cities alike, and it showed no signs of stopping. Within hours, thousands of people were involved in what would later be known as the Great Thanksgiving Plunge. A phenomenon that started as a ripple had turned into a tidal wave sweeping across the nation, leaving a trail of empty shelves and bewildered shopkeepers in its wake. Across the United States, the chaos was unfolding at an alarming rate. As the sun rose on that day in 1956, no one could have predicted what was about to happen. The Great Thanksgiving Plunge had begun, and it was a sight to behold. Picture this. Stores from coast to coast, normally quiet and orderly, now transformed into a whirlwind of activity. People, thousands of them, were rushing into stores, their desire to snag the best deals overpowering any sense of decorum. The scenes were overwhelming, with every aisle and corner packed with frenzied shoppers. There was a wild, almost palpable energy in the air, a collective madness that had swept over the nation. The reactions of the people were a mix of exhilaration, desperation, and disbelief. You could see the excitement in their eyes as they raced down the aisles, the thrill of the hunt evident in every step. But there was also a sense of desperation, a fear of missing out on the best deals. And then there was the disbelief, the shock at the sheer magnitude of the event. For many, it was a spectacle that was hard to comprehend. As the chaos ensued, attempts were made to control the situation. Store managers and employees did their best to manage the crowds, but it was like trying to hold back a tidal wave with a bucket. Police were called in to help, but even they were overwhelmed by the sheer number of people. The chaos was simply too much for anyone to handle. And yet, amidst all the pandemonium, there was a strange sense of unity. People from all walks of life, all united by a common goal, to get the best deals possible. It was a testament to the power of consumerism, the allure of a good bargain. The Great Thanksgiving Plunge was more than just a shopping event, it was a social phenomenon that had taken the nation by storm. The Great Thanksgiving Plunge was now in full swing, and there was no stopping it. This was the day that changed the face of retail forever, a day that would go down in history as one of the most chaotic and yet fascinating events of the 20th century. By the time the sun rose, the damage had been done. The aftermath of the Great Thanksgiving Plunge of 1956 was a sight to behold. Stores, once bustling hubs of commerce, now stood as silent witnesses to an event that had shaken the nation. In the cold light of day, the extent of the damage became apparent. Shelves were stripped bare, glass cases shattered, and goods were strewn about in a disarray that mirrored the chaos of the previous day. The cost was astronomical, with countless stores suffering losses that would take years to recover from. The economy too felt the aftershocks. The retail industry, which had been anticipating a post-Thanksgiving boom, was left reeling. The sudden and unexpected depletion of inventory led to a drop in sales in the weeks following the event, casting a pall over what should have been the most profitable season of the year. The public reaction was a mix of disbelief and outrage. Many were shocked by the sheer scale of the chaos, their faith in the civility of their fellow citizens shaken. Others were incensed, calling for stricter regulations and measures to prevent such an event from occurring again. The authorities were left to pick up the pieces. Law enforcement agencies were criticized for their lack of preparedness, leading to a series of reforms aimed at improving crowd control measures. The government, too, was not spared, with many questioning the adequacy of the existing laws to deal with such a situation. Yet amidst the chaos and the criticism, there was a sense of resilience. The community came together to help those affected, with volunteers helping to clean up and restore the damaged stores. It was a testament to the indomitable spirit of the American people, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, they could rise above. The Great Thanksgiving Plunge of 1956 had left its mark, and it was one that would not be forgotten. It was a reminder of the power of the masses, the unpredictability of human behavior, and the need for vigilance. It was a lesson learned in the hardest way possible, one that would shape the course of retail history in the years to come. In the years that followed, the Great Thanksgiving Plunge became a part of American history. The event, fueled by a potent mix of post-Thanksgiving euphoria and the promise of unbeatable sales, had left an indelible mark on the nation. Its legacy, however, was not just one of chaos and pandemonium. The plunge revolutionized Black Friday as we know it. It served as a wake-up call for retailers nationwide, forcing them to rethink their strategies. In the years that followed, stores began implementing crowd control measures to ensure the safety and sanity of their customers. Barriers were erected, security personnel were stationed, and most importantly, opening hours were staggered. The idea was simple: to prevent a sudden rush of shoppers all at once. These changes were far-reaching, and they echo in the Black Friday sales we see today. But the legacy of the plunge extended beyond changes to retail strategy. It had a profound impact on American culture itself. The event became a symbol of consumerism run amok, a stark reminder of the lengths people would go to snag a bargain. It sparked conversations about consumer behavior, the ethics of sales tactics, and the true meaning of the holiday season. In the realm of popular culture, the plunge found its way into books, films, and television shows. It became a metaphor for frenzy, a touchstone for tales of excess and pandemonium. The event, in its own chaotic way, contributed to the rich tapestry of American storytelling. And perhaps most importantly, it served as a cautionary tale, a reminder that in the quest for the perfect deal, we must not lose sight of our shared humanity. The plunge taught us that the true spirit of the holiday season lies not in the things we buy, but in the people we spend it with. Despite the chaos and destruction, the Great Thanksgiving Plunge had a lasting impact, changing the face of Black Friday forever. It stands as a testament to the power of consumer culture, a lesson in crowd control, and an unforgettable chapter in the annals of American history. So there you have it, the story of the Great Thanksgiving Plunge of 1956. In the quiet before the storm, the country was blissfully unaware of the chaos that was about to ensue. Families were gathering, the air was ripe with anticipation for the holiday season, and the nation was basking in the afterglow of Black Friday sales. But then, the unexpected had happened. The day after Black Friday, rather than retreating to the comfort of their homes, thousands of people across the United States rushed back into stores. This was the start of the Great Thanksgiving Plunge, a chaotic and unexpected event that caused pandemonium nationwide. As the chaos unfolded, stores were left reeling. The sheer number of people, the frenzy of their actions, and the scale of the disturbance was something that the country had never seen before. It was a moment that shocked the nation and left a significant mark on the retail industry. In the aftermath, the event wasn't quickly forgotten. The shockwaves of the Great Thanksgiving Plunge reverberated across the nation, shaping the way retailers and consumers approached the holiday shopping season. It left a lasting impact, forever changing the dynamics of Black Friday and the days that followed. The legacy of the plunge is still evident today. It served as a stark reminder of the power of consumerism and the unpredictability of public behavior. It's a chapter in our history that helps us understand the dynamics of our modern retail era, reminding us of the lengths people will go to secure a good deal. In conclusion, the Great Thanksgiving Plunge of 1956 was more than just an event. It was a phenomenon that rocked the nation. It forever changed the landscape of retail shopping and left an indelible mark on American history. It's a story that continues to fascinate and intrigue, a tale of chaos, consumerism, and the unexpected. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to the iHistory channel, like and share. Also, don't forget to activate the notification bell.